Welcome in everybody to Betting Pros. I'm a split decision right now, so I've got to bring on my guy Scott Bogman, who had to
My
dip out
bad.
and come back in. These are things that happen live TV, but I like that look. I'm very serious.
That's right.
It's the two halves of Joe P's brain. It's the right side, the left side, just like tonight's games. We've got two games, just like the sides of my brain. One, I'm sure will be very logical, and the other will be insane. I imagine that's kind of
But which
the
is which,
swing.
Joe?
You'll
That's
just
the
never know.
question.
You'll never know. Scott Bogman, Joe Pisapia taking you through Monday Night Football right here. Off to a flying start as always on the program. We thank you for joining us live here on Betting Pros. Make sure you subscribe to Betting Pros too. Just drop the fantastic look ahead for week 4. Lots of interesting games going on week 4 in the early look ahead. We got the prop show coming up on Friday. Andrew Erickson nailed the Donald Parham touchdown. Unbelievable. 30-1. Nailed it on Friday. Shout out to him. Boy, he's going to be unbearable on Thursday. I can tell you that right now.
He should be. When you nail a 30-1, you got to brag about it. Come on.
100%. But look, we've got some fun games today. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we've also got the Joe Burrow-led Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to try. He's going to try to
Ron
gut
Burgundy.
it out. I'm Ron Burgundy. 0-3 looming potentially for the Bengals. So I guess he's going to give it a go against the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, hate to see it,
Bogman,
Joe.
of course,
I
in a
don't
good
enjoy
mood
it
because of the Steelers last night. So there you go.
Doing better than Sean Payton. I'll tell you that much. So
I made the comment on the waiver wire show on Fantasy Pros today, watching the Denver Broncos linebackers and defensive backs trying to tackle is like, they might as well just have those wacky flailing arm inflatable tube guys, because that's what it looked like. It was just hands and arms, and nobody was trying to wrap up anybody. And I get it. After 30, they just kind of quit. It kind of looked like before 30, it kind of looked like it quit a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, man. You can't. You got to wrap up. You got to tackle. Look like the Texas Longhorns defense out there against the Dolphins. That's no good. So,
and now I have to say Devon A-Chain's name differently. Now it's Devon
Achon. I had no idea either. I wish you would have let people know, like, during the Senior Bowl or the Combine or the NFL Draft or rookie camp or training camp or the preseason. That would all have been nice. But now, after 200 yards and 4 scores, now we know Devon Achon.
Devon Achon. It's going to take me all season to get that right. I could tell you that right now. But it's time to break down the game. Scott Bogman's got the props ready for you again. I'm glad everyone's here in the chat. If you got questions, you can drop them in here. We love chatting with you all. I had a terrible week 3. Week 3 was miserable for me. Week 2 was tremendous. Week 1 was meh. It was mid. So I'm looking to bounce back because this was an absolute disaster for me in week 3. So I got to bounce back. Luckily, I have the Betting Pros tools. And luckily, also, we're giving away some free stuff like... All right, everybody, it's that time again here at Betting Pros. Time to give away some free stuff, and this time we're giving away a James Cook autographed jersey. That's right. This jersey can be yours, and all you have to do is subscribe to our Betting Pros YouTube channel. That sounds pretty easy. Oh, wait, and drop a comment below. That sounds easy, too. So subscribe, drop a comment below, and you just might win this autographed jersey thanks to us here at Betting Pros. And don't forget to click that little bell till it goes ding so you know if you're the big winner. All right, let's get after it here and let's talk Eagles and Bucks. Scott Bogman, there it is. Buccaneers have been plucky. I'm going to say that. That's what I'm going to call them, plucky so far.
Plucky.
Philadelphia.
Don't call us plucky. We don't know what it means. All right.
This is where the rubber meets the road, though, for Tampa Bay, because now they're playing the Eagles. Now they're playing a gold standard team. It's funny looking back now, all those weeks ago to week 1. All of a sudden, that win against the Minnesota Vikings doesn't look nearly as impressive to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after watching them play defense the last 3 weeks. But I digress. Tampa, still regardless, 5.5-point underdogs at home. This number was originally 7, so it's definitely moved a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why, but look, Boggs, the number's 44.5 on the over-under. Tampa is 205 on the money line on the plus side. You get that number over on FanDuel. This one's simple to me. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Philadelphia Eagles, by a decent enough margin, they cover this 5.5. That's my take on this. I'm staying away from the over-under because this one's got range of outcomes in it, because Baker Mayfield has played pretty well, and he hasn't turned the ball over yet, and I want to emphasize yet. So I'm not looking for any upsets here. I'm not looking for any shenanigans. I'm looking for the Eagles to come in, handle their business, and then go on to next week where they have more important things to deal with. But what are your thoughts on this contest? Where do you land here on the spread, the total, and the money line if it matters?
Look, did the Eagles look more dominant against the Vikings than they have? I mean, they looked so good, and they still didn't cover the damn spread. It made me so mad. It was the hook that got us. Oh, God, I was so mad about that because I had the Eagles all over the place. So screw them. They let me down. I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus the points at home. I'm going to go over 44.5 because I don't think that it's just – I don't think that it's just the fact that Tampa Bay has looked plucky and good. It's the fact that the secondary in Philly has looked terrible. It has not looked good. They have the second most passing yards allowed this season. And you saw, I mean, Kirk Cousins was getting smacked on every play, but every play there was a guy open downfield who caught the ball. So for me, I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus the points. Don't really love it. I don't want to mess with that. I actually like the over because Tampa Bay has been somewhat crisp on offense and Philly has been bad on the back end. So give me the over in this game.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that, but to that point, I don't think that Baker Mayfield is Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson's not on the field for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, they have so many playmakers there to get back in games, and Hawkinson was just tearing them up that night too. So I'm not going to copy and paste too much because that's a very different explosive offense. And I know Tampa went in there and beat Minnesota, but at the same time, I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to give Tampa that much credit. I still think Philadelphia is the gold standard of the NFC. I've been saying that even throughout this Cowboys run, which has been very interesting. They got smacked yesterday by the Arizona Cardinals, but it's still Philly for me at the -5.5. I'm very comfortable with that. Now, the other game, comfortability is a little different. Here we are on Betting Pros. And again, make sure you download the Betting Pros app so you can get the best lines wherever you're betting. Sync all your sports books today. You've got the Los Angeles Rams here at +3. Cincinnati favored by 3 at home, -110 on DK. You can get the even money on the +3 on Los Angeles at Bet365, which I prefer the way things have been going for the Cincinnati Bengals. 45 is the total at Sugar House, 45.5 for the under on DK at -110. And then, of course, the Los Angeles Rams to win outright at +150. Boggs, is that the best way to approach this game, is just take the Rams outright, who have played relatively well? I mean, but Joe Burrow, does he finish this game?
I will shake these headphones off my head. No, I don't want to touch the side of this game at all with your, you know what. So no, lay off of it, man.
That's your opinion.
I'm not doing it. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under because I think Cincinnati's defense is a little underrated, right? I think they can put a lot of pressure on Matt Stafford. There's a team that wants to pass the ball. It's been working for them. It worked against the Niners, but I think the Bengals are better on the back end than the Niners are. Nowhere close in the front seven are they to the Niners, but I don't think you have to be as good as the Niners are in the front seven to put pressure on Stafford. So I'm just taking the under because Burrow hasn't looked good. We still don't even know if he's going to play, and I am not a buyer in the Rams are a good team. I will buy that Matt Stafford is way better than we all gave him credit for, and it has this team moving. That's fine. But I don't think the Rams are good overall. So I'll take them plus the points here, but I don't want to touch it. But my favorite play here between those two would be the under 45. Or I guess maybe on DK you can get it under 45.5. That's what I like because I think the Bengals defense is better than advertised. And I think the Bengals offense is a giant question mark, either with Jake Browning or a less than 100% Joe Burrow.
That is true. I agree with that sentiment, but that's why I'm just going to go straight for the Rams here, straight for the jugular. And it's terrible because I had high expectations for the Bengals going into this game, but I'm just going to be on the other side. I'm going to take the Rams outright. I don't know. The Bengals have not looked good, and Joe Burrow has not looked good. And the whole I'm going to try to gut it out thing does not leave me feeling warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. So I just can't do it there. Gru, by the way, prop bet gurus, what are we talking about tonight? Well, T. Gru, it's that time of the show to get to it. Before we do, just a reminder for everybody out there, we got that NFL contest. Don't forget about the NFL contest. It's running right now. Go to bettingpros.com/NFL contest to join for free today, or just click the tab in the community tab area and then just go find NFL contest and join that bad boy. We're giving away a Jackson Smith and Jigba autographed jersey. We're also giving away monthly prizes, weekly prizes, swag to the Fantasy Pros shop, to the Betting Pros shop, and also premium upgrades to FP and BP as well. So it costs you nothing to join. So join. It's free. It's fabulous. And win yourself some free stuff. Just make 5 picks every week. That's all you got to do to be eligible to win. That sounds like a good time. All right, Bogman, let's go back to the Eagles game first. Let's talk about your five props from there. Where do we want to start?
I mean, I do think I don't have it on my 5, but I think the Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown is just easy money, right? So I'm not even going to put that in my 5 because it's too easy. So just so everybody knows, I know the juice is not great.
I was gonna say the juice is probably what minus
150.
I didn't even look at that one.
That.
I was gonna say
it might be minus 140, minus 150, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I'll look while you're talking. Go ahead.
But that one's great. So let's start with Baker Mayfield over
minus 125, actually.
You know,
anytime touchdown score on FanDuel plus 125.
Plus one for Hurts?
For Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown scorer. I'm looking at it right now. I'm betting it as you speak. So why don't you speak so I have time to bet it?
Yeah. So you can put that bet in because that's almost a lock. Let's go Baker Mayfield over 229.5 passing yards. The juice is minus 115 there. It's exactly what I said. It's the fact that this team has not taken off as many passes as we thought because Tom Brady's gone. You know, that's kind of what I thought coming into the season. They just didn't build the personnel to run the ball, especially with the running back. So I think they're still going to pass. I think he hits that because Philly has been bad on the back end. Number 2, Joey, A.J. Brown over 70.5 receiving yards. This guy was mad that they ran the ball 30 times and won the game against the Vikings. He was still being a little crybaby on the sideline because he wasn't getting his yards. So let's make him happy. He's one of the superstars in the league. Let's get him his yards. This is a team to do it against. It's minus 135. The juice is bad, but I definitely think A.J. Brown goes over 70.5 because I think they feed him. How about Chris Godwin?
Plus 150, by the way, A.J. Brown for anytime touchdown score on FD.
Not bad either. I don't know if it's enough for a wide receiver. I want plus 200 on my wideouts, but plus 150 for A.J. Brown is a good number.
On a night where the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I think
that's right. Yeah, the crybaby wheel gets the Kleenex.
Hey, man, I love that wheel. That's how I got this job.
Just being a crybaby? Somehow I doubt it.
Whining and crying. Hey, why am I not on TV enough? I should be on television more.
That's not how I got it. It's because I knew you. Chris Godwin over 5.5 receptions is the plus money. Plus 114. Look, I know they're making a big deal about James Bradbury being on Chris Godwin, and that's what they should do. They should put their best corner on him, but you're going to get torched by Godwin or Evans. It's just going to happen. I think Godwin, they make easy throws for Baker too. So I will take the receptions over the yards. Also can't lose receptions. You can lose yards. You know what I mean? So let's do that. Let's go with the Mike Evans longest reception over 22.5. Joe, that's minus 120. He's had, I think in his 2 games, he's had a 28 and like a 60 something. Last week he had was huge. So I think 22.5 is good, especially if you're bringing safeties up because you're concerned about Chris Godwin. I think Evans gets a long one down the sideline at some point. And because they do pass so much and the Eagles defensive line is maybe the best unit in the NFL. Josh Sweat over 0.75 sacks is giving us plus 154. I nailed that Javon Hargrave one on the first drive last week. So hoping we can get that one for Josh Sweat here.
All right. So there you go. Some good ones there from Bogman on that game. Let's go over to the other side. Let's talk about the Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. I know you got not one, but 2 things you like about Joe Mixon here today. And I guess that's just the easy logic, right? You're saying, hey, that's some pressure off Joe Burrow. You got to make sure you push that defensive line a little bit, keep them honest, which makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, I don't feel like anything's made sense for the Bengals yet this year.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, there's not a lot to like. And with Joe Burrow being questionable, I hate taking Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or any receiving prop for the Bengals because I just have no idea what we're going to get out of Browning if he does go. So, and we're not getting Joe Burrow at 100% either. So I think we get just so much Joe Mixon in this game, maybe some Travion Williams as well. But let's go the over on rush attempts for Joe Mixon at 15.5. The juice is minus 125 because they know he's going to get fed. And then over 64.5 rushing yards is minus 115. And I think the Rams defense has done a much better job than I gave them credit for. And, I said they're no names and they are, but they're still NFL players. So I think I was a little harsh on them. And obviously the Arizona Cardinals who knocked me out of survival this week. Not very happy.
Oh, no, you lost on that one. That's a tough one. That looked like a lock. Yeah, even if it was close, they should have won that football game.
Yeah, at least I split my money with the Welsh, so he gives me crap about it all the time. So that's good. So, but yeah, that's it. That's in DVR's Pentathlon League. But I just think Joe Mixon gets fed a ton. I think this defense is still, going to wear out. late in the game for the Rams. So I love both of those for him. That's an easy one. I also have Puka over 6.5 receptions, -110. I know he's questionable coming in.
He's questionable last week, though, with the same injury. So, right. I mean, I don't want to take too much out of this, but 6.5 receptions, that's like a gimme for this guy the way he's been going.
It really seems so. And that is one where I just bet it until they don't do it. And look, that will bite you sometimes. But I mean, if you're betting it every week until they get it, you should have already won money twice. So I think that I think he's definitely going to get it. I didn't read it. Let's see.
Oh, no, that's one they want to see. So speaking of the Welsh, you better get on the baseball show for the last show. I typically show up for the last one. Typically that happens. So, just you got to watch to see. Who blew it?
The D-backs.
So. Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah.
By the way, someone in the chat is continuing to say about Devonta Smith being out. I don't see that anywhere. So I don't know where these rumors are spreading or anything like that. Boggs, have you seen anything to that?
I haven't, but I have got before by the Twitter or the X, whatever.
I don't see it on the X or the Twitter. I don't see it anywhere.
So, I mean, I just always make sure that Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, one of those guys, even though they miss all the time. If they say a guy's out, he's usually out. So
yeah, I mean, I don't see anything from the actual sources about anything regarding that. So
look at Chris Welsh.
Don't be spreading lies. Yeah, we'll put some respect on your name. We'll put this much, Welsh. That's how much. Maybe that much. Maybe a little bit more. We'll put on your name.
That's a Blackman size respect.
We did the Mixon. We did the Puka Nacua. You always got to go defense. So let's talk about a defensive one here.
Hey, look, there's money to be made on defense. So that's why I like it. How about Trey Hendrickson over 0.75 sacks at +230 for how much the Rams pass? And they're a dog in this game. So if they are down late, you're going to put your best pass rushers on the field. Trey Hendrickson is absolutely one of them for the Bengals. Like I said, +230. Sam Hubbard is better against the run. He's a better push end than a pass rush end, but he'll get after the quarterback. He's +240. Both of those I like. I think Hendrickson is a better pure pass rusher. So I love that one at +230. And Dax Hill over 5.5 tackles. The juice is not great. It's -130, but I know it's already gone up to 6 on Underdog. I don't know if it did on DraftKings, but that over seems pretty good for a team that passes a lot. That means the safeties and corners are going to get a lot of tackles. And Dax Hill, I believe, had 9 last game. He only had 5 in the first game, but it was against Cleveland with Nick Chubb, and they ran 8 billion times. So I think Dax Hill can get he should at least get those tackles and assists against Puka, catching the ball over the middle.
You would think, yeah.
I think he could get 3 just against Puka. So let's go with him getting the tackles as well.
All right, so let's do one more here. Oh, you got the Dax Hill. That's the last one. Do you have an anytime touchdown on this bad boy? Just out of curiosity.
No,
I mean, Puka's gonna do. I feel like the amount of volume that guy's got without having a touchdown, 35 targets. That is weird. Is that the Thunder and Lightning? Is that the Puka Thunder and Lightning? Have I called upon the gods to give us a Puka touchdown? Hey, I'm taking that as a sign right there. I said, should there be an anytime Puka Nacua touchdown? All of a sudden, the heavens have opened up.
That's
the
right.
Gods are speaking. I'm going to check on what that number is, too, because whenever you get a sign like that, I think you have to take it. Boggs, in your mind, what do you think that number is set at for the anytime touchdown score for Puka?
I would say it's +225.
+170. Not quite as good as you want it to be. Tutu Atwell is +240, by the way. And Tyler Higbee is at 270, who I know that Erickson was in on this week. So that was the one that I'm dragging that over from the prop show.
I mean, they all could score. What is Kyron?
Yeah.
Is he like
Kyron Williams is -110 and Joe Mixon -160. So clearly they're thinking the same way you are about this game.
Yeah, so I just think Mixon gets fed. A lot of touches for Mixon in this game. Should be a big Mixon game against the Rams.
Makes a lot of sense. So look, there you go, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and you sync all your sports books, track all your bets, start betting smarter, not harder. Download the Betting Pros app right now. You can follow us on there at bettingpros.com/Joe/Bogman. Don't follow me from last week because I was terrible last week, but I'm back to the grind regardless. Let me tell you, man. I mean, some layups I just did not get. Also, all these early lines, set your notifications, get your line alerts for certain games if you're watching for certain numbers to move. And we talked about that this morning on the show. There's going to be some line movement in some of these games, especially after tonight's action. So get your line alerts from Betting Pros app, set the notifications for certain games. That way you can get the best line and jump on that bad boy whenever you can. Scott Bogman, always fun to hang out with you and all of the people here as well. And yeah, it's going to be, and just so we have it confirmed, I don't know what Quasar's local Philly news is saying. They're saying Devontae's out, but you know what? It's not, he's not out. He's going to play. Okay.
Maybe
nobody is reporting Freeman. This. Yeah. And Angels is saying Slim Reaper is playing. So Quasar, stop spreading lies, man. This is, don't come into the chat and go spreading lies in my chat, Quasar. Just take those lies somewhere else, man. You don't do doing that. But should be some fun games tonight. I want to see the Eagles go ahead and, kind of lay it out there, especially after the Cowboys laying the egg that they did against the Arizona Cardinals. And I guess everybody gets their, their hiccup game. And well, the Cowboys certainly had theirs, so they got checked. Maybe that's a good thing.
Thanks, Cowboys.
That Trayvon Diggs, by the way, injury. Do you think, look, I don't want to say that Trayvon Diggs injury all of a sudden really crushed the defense, but they definitely missed him because there was a lot of explosive plays. The number of explosive plays, which is like 10 yards or more, I think it was 7 that they had yesterday. And that's something you don't have.
Wasn't stopping those. I mean, I
don't know, but
that's missed on multiple levels. That is not just, that's bad coaching. I mean, that's what it is. Thank you, Mike McCarthy. It's bad coaching.
Well, he's got to get in line though, because after Sean Payton's first 3 games here, I don't think that's working out.
There was a lot of bad coaching this week. So,
well, I think the bad coaching trophy goes to Brandon Staley trying to go for it in his own 25.
I don't know.
Instead of kicking the ball with a minute 40 left.
I don't know. Josh McDaniels kicked a field goal when you were down there just moving the ball on the Steelers, they were doing nothing on defense. And you kick a field goal? Oh my God. Yeah, that was pretty stupid too. So
all right, now Quasar is saying, we love you, Quasar. We're just breaking your chops. 94.1 Sports Radio said the knee. I'm just telling you what they said about the injury report. I'm in Philly.
Now he was on the injury report as questionable, but the last practice was, I think, Saturday.
All I know is,
and he was a full participant.
Here's what I will say. So Quasar's helping us out, giving us a little inside information. Maybe they're talking about it locally, but as long as he's playing, again, I don't see anything from any of the major sources right now saying that he's not playing, but what you might want to do, lock in that AJ Brown that Bogman was talking about. That AJ Brown number, lock it in now, if that's the case, because they're going to have to rely on him even more heavily. And I don't think they have the goods to guard him, no matter who is on the field or who is not.
Could be some rain in that game too. Speaking of
it could be. So, it could be. But good luck to everybody out there wagering tonight. We'll be back again on Thursday Night Football to break down that bad boy. Can't wait. Oh, that's a big game. That's Packers Lions. So already big in-division games. Going to be a really good one. So make sure you join us for that. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. Enjoy your Monday night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See ya.